Yeah, baby!
Welcome to Cannabis&Culture. Now, this isn't medical information. This is just information that has been gathered about marijuana, CBD, dementia, and Alzheimer's. But first, a few questions. Do we have an opioid receptor in our bodies? Nope. Okay, how about heroin receptors? Nope. Maybe a Molly receptor? Nope. Now let's note, although all of these drugs will have an effect on our bodies do not have receptors or components within us that are designed to work with these quote-unquote street drugs. But what we do have in our bodies has been there from birth, a system that some scientists feel more important than the brain itself, the endocannabinoid system. It controls all of the functions that you see on the screen: motor activity, thinking, bones, eyes, tumors, pain perception, central nervous system, and the cardiovascular system, just to name a few. So what all of this boils down to is, basically, your body is designed to accept voluntarily all of the chemicals from the cannabis plant. In essence, our bodies are designed to receive weed. Let's start with a cannabis breakdown. Now, cannabis can be broken down into two parts. One is classified as hemp. The other is classified as marijuana or weed. Hemp is where the CBD isolate is extracted from. On the other end of the spectrum is marijuana, the part of the plant with THC, which is what gets you high. That's the beauty of this plant. Balance. Part gets you high, while the other part does the exact opposite. Hemp is considered legal, while THC is not. Same plant, different treatment. Imagine that. Now, I'm going to put up a list of definitions of terms that will be used here to help you comprehend what's going on. Amyloid plaque. Pieces of protein called amyloid beta aggregate, a destructive protein when it disrupts normal brain activity. This is a major cause of dementia and Alzheimer's. Neuroprotective. Serving to protect nerve cells against damage, degeneration, or impairment of functions. Cannabinoids. Any of a group of related compounds which includes cannabinol and the active constituents of cannabis. Homeostasis. The tendency towards a relatively stable equilibrium between interdependent elements, especially as maintained by a physiological process. The entourage effect. A proposed mechanism by which cannabis compounds other than THC act synergistically with it to modulate the overall psychoactive effects of the plant. This basically means balance. The entourage effect means one part of the plant can help the other, or the sum total is better than separate elements or individual parts. Now let's get into the different types of CBD. First, we have the CBD Isolate. An isolate is literally that: to isolate or separate and extract only one specific chemical from the cannabis plant. Now, CBD Isolate is usually the least expensive and the least effective for rapid results. It is federally legal because the THC or hallucinogenic parts are less than that of 0.3%. Oil for CBD isolates are extracted from hemp, the part of cannabis that does not get you high. Isolates do not have any terpenes, which create the smell in cannabis plants, nor does it have flavonoids, which create color and or taste. Now, these are some of the very reasons why some people choose a CBD isolate. It's tasteless and odorless, and absolutely no chance of getting a psychoactive response, which means you will not get high. It's great for those with a low tolerance or cannot have THC in their bloodstream due to drug testing. The CBD Isolate has no THC. None. Nada. Nathaniel. Some drawbacks to an isolate is that it has a narrow therapeutic window, which means you would have to take or ingest a significant amount to see substantial results. More for preventative issues for health and wellness. Now, on to broad spectrum. Now, whereas an isolate is only CBD, a broad spectrum CBD will include less than 0.3% THC. A broad spectrum will also include other components of the cannabis plant except an abundance of THC. Remember, the THC is less than 0.3% in the broad spectrum. The other cannabinoids or phytonutrients or plant nutrients would be terpenes for the aroma, flavonoids for the color or taste. Now, what is most important to note, two plant nutrients found in the cannabis plants are canaflavin A and canaflavin B, which some studies have shown anti-inflammatory properties that are 30 times stronger than aspirin. Imagine that. Now, onto the full spectrum. Now, full spectrum is just that, the full spectrum, or the complete cannabis plant in all parts, including THC. Now, depending on which state you live in, will decide if this is available where you live. This is not considered legal unless you are in a state that recognizes medicinal or recreational use. Full spectrum has the greatest potency. It maximizes the entourage effect defined earlier. The cannabis plant is most effective when used in its entirety versus using separate parts of the plant individually. Now, here are some of the issues that a full spectrum can address: anti-inflammation, an antioxidant, anger management, appetite, sleep, and relaxation. A full spectrum CBD will also deal with amyloid plaque, the cause of dementia and Alzheimer's. It literally fights to destroy this protein attacking the brain. Cannabis acts as a neuroprotectant, in this case of dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, CBD isolates, broad spectrum or full spectrum, is not a cure for these horrible brain degenerating diseases like dementia or Alzheimer's, but they may help to deal with some of these debilitating issues and obtaining better health and wellness with assistance from the cannabis plant. Thank you for your time. Thank you for supporting the channel Cannabis&Culture. I hope that this information can help you or someone you know dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia. If this type of subject matter interests you, press subscribe and notifications to stay updated for more content. I appreciate you. Peace.